Okay, so I was thinking, let's start off with the rapid fire.
Okay.
So I have 15 random questions I found on the internet when I typed in rapid fire questions for a friend. So I'm going to ask them to you and try to keep your answer as short as possible. And let's try to go through the questions as quick as possible.
Okay.
Okay, first thing that comes to your head. Ready? Your favorite day of the week?
Saturday.
Nickname your parents used to call you?
Groovy.
Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Every language in the world.
Why not animals?
Because we mostly know what animals are going to say. We can easily interpret their neurological signals and can invent technology to understand that.
Okay. Invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at keeping secrets?
9-ish.
Okay. If you could travel back in time, which period would you go to?
I seriously think I would like to go to ancient Greece for once.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think we are living the best possible age.
You can also go forward in time.
I can also go forward in time. Sure, then any time.
I know the question was go back in time, but let's also keep it forward in time.
Yeah, then something like 300, 400 years in future. Definitely.
Okay. Your favorite junk food or fast food?
It's pizza.
From
Pizza Hut.
Okay. Say a word in Spanish.
Hola.
That was too easy. Say good day, mate, in a British accent.
Good day, mate.
Your favorite number?
Maybe that was Russian, right?
It's okay. Your favorite number?
I don't know, maybe 2.
Okay. What's your ideal outside temperature?
My ideal outside temperature, that would be the room temperature, 24 degrees Celsius.
Okay. What's one meal you could eat for a week straight?
Protein bars, probably. I don't know. I'm addicted to them. I know.
If you could go to space given today's technology, would you do it? Or would you wait 50 years without the guarantee of going to space?
I would rather wait 50 years because if I'm able to go today, so the most we can go to is like 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers above the Earth layer. So that's not really space. That's just glorified atmosphere. So going to space is still a far way off for most.
Okay. Fair enough. And the last one, and you can give this a moment's thought if you need it. If your life was made into a movie, what genre would it be?
Documentary.
Documentary.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you say documentary?
Why a documentary? Because
It's just because of the sheer amount of information that would be in it.
I think so. If you want to film a person sitting in a desk thinking all day, so that sums up my entire existence mostly. So yeah.
Okay, what if I change the question? If the thoughts inside your mind were a movie, what genre would it be?
I think it would be more of abstract art. I don't think anybody it'll be all splashing on screen mostly. Too random and diffuse to be of any meaning.
Of any specific genre?
Any specific genre?
No. You were saying it's too random to be any specific genre.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. Okay, so that was our rapid fire. I personally curated the questions, so I hope you liked the questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so now next thing I wanted to talk to you about is I saw on your Instagram you got rings finally, the gymnastic rings. How's it been with them?
It's they're really cool. क्योंकि उसमें ring का the main thing is कि one you can adjust the height, so a lot of exercises come into play उसमें. So you can do parallel bars and the pull-up bar in the same thing. So inverted rows and pull-ups and front levers, back levers, all the exercises like you can do with the same equipment. So that's pretty good. Or and then it's a added challenge because they aren't very stable. So
right, yeah, the stability comes. I think that's also that makes it a little bit more fun as well. The play component comes into it.
If you if you're having a day in which you don't really want to do anything, you just want to spend your time around hanging about. So you can just swing on the rings.
Yeah, I know. I do that often. I hung them outside my room. From the terrace, I moved it to outside my room. And when I'm going in or going out, I might just Tarzan my way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But just I've heard parts of it, but I haven't heard the entire story. So 4-5 years ago, you were not at all into any form of physical exercise.
So that's
but now you're one of the fittest people I know.
I don't think that's true, but yeah.
Maybe not the fastest, but definitely one of the strongest. You broke my punching bag.
That was an accident again.
No. I'm just talking in terms of sheer strength.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. Usme, 5-6 years back, I was very unfit. I never played sports. So up to that point, I just been sitting in a chair. So till like 8th grade. उसके बाद dad forced me into getting a fitness trainer. So a year of that. उसमें I didn't really enjoy, but I started to move around a bit. Then this guy came. He was absolutely amazing. He was doing one-arm pull-ups and planks and all of those things, which I previously thought was not possible.
Okay. So this was one of the fitness trainers that came.
So he was a fitness trainer. Matlab he had just come into the thing or college graduate. He was a really nice guy. Uske baad, he inspired me to actually get into fitness and explore what other things I can do. Otherwise, I just thought fitness was going to the gym and doing a few bicep curls and returning home. Yeah. So after that, I started using all these apps. A lot of good apps are there on the App Store. So a few years of that, and I just kind of got into it. And it's mostly 20 minutes a day.
No, so is the part because although I've been playing sports all my life, still I have that kind of not exactly annoyance, but that kind of little bit barrier into going into fitness just because of it seems it's so tough at times and it seems so pointless. My reasoning for getting out is always, what will I get if I do a pull-up? Did that ever halter you?
Yes, that does come in a lot of times. But for me, it was just seeing the positive changes in my body that prompted me to do it. Because I went from really fat to fit. So it is just the seeing the change which made me which constantly inspired me to keep on the track.
Right. Yeah. You told me that to me before also, that it was just that process of seeing yourself get much fitter and fitter. And did that also go into your diet? Like once you started exercising, did you also become more conscious about your diet?
I think the diet was the biggest part of the progress. Because more than exercise, after I cut all of the junk food out of my diet.
Right.
So I eat junk food very rarely, once a month or something.
Okay.
So I just cut out everything. I cut out ketchup, even ketchup chip, soft drinks, everything. So after that, the progress was really, really quick. The progress, if I was expecting something in a month, I would have it in a week.
Wow, it accelerated it so much.
And also, if you are on a good diet, you automatically feel fresher and stronger the next day for some reason. So it's like if you maintain and controlling your diet is also a form of discipline. So it reinforces the feeling of being in routine and not breaking your exercise routine. So that's it.
Wow, yeah, that seems pretty cool though. And even when you were here in Bangalore, you seem to be really enjoying yourself with the entire process, picking out protein bars and experimenting with different exercises and trying stuff that's challenging.
Yeah, although I enjoyed the boxing session with you the most. The realization I was supposed to be moving was
a big change.
Yeah, big change.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. But also, one thing we never ended up getting to was you teaching me how to use your mobile phone for photography.
Oh yeah.
So what have you been working on recently with it?
The photography thing, I've been recently working on photographing. So I use my microscope and use my mobile phone to click pictures of things I'm viewing under my microscope.
Oh wow! And how has that been?
It's been not as so it's still in progress, I would say.
Okay, I feel like would it even be clear?
It's not. So that's the point. So I have to um, I have to change the microscope क्योंकि उसमें adding another lens on top of the microscope changes the whole deal. उसमें the picture becomes उसमें you have to adjust the focus again after putting another lens on it, right? क्योंकि it's like adding another, if you are doing optics equation, so adding another lens to the problem would change the whole.
But can't you just like zoom your phone in?
Zooming the phone doesn't help at all. Because zooming in always, like, if you ever zoomed in a picture even a little bit, so it always, the pixels pop out.
Right, yeah, it loses quality.
Yeah. So, and in Microsoft Photos, we are always like looking for quality. Because everything's always anyway so unusual. So you need very fine details to understand what's going on.
Okay, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds interesting. So one of my friends, you remember Vedu?
Yeah.
He was so interested about your German book. And in fact, I'm also very interested about your German book. So how has that been going? Have you gotten around to reading it?
Okay, that one. Got a listed batch. That one.
Yeah.
I'm like 200 pages in. So
okay.
Yeah, it's a very.
Have you uncovered the plot yet?
I think the author is. I think I have an idea. Usme the author is looking for life evolving in abstract systems.
Okay.
He's basically looking for the origin of life.
Okay.
So usme he's trying to show that how inanimate objects like say mathematical symbols can get together to create meaning out of nothing.
Okay, but isn't that just a lot of things?
Exactly.
You assigned it meaning, but is there anything deeper than that?
That's what the book is about, right?
Like, I mean, we called a wall, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean anything deeper, right?
Sure. Wall doesn't have to mean anything deeper, but a lot of people are bothered by the question ki if we are made up of things which are not conscious. So if we are like a bunch of chemical reactions going on in a bag of water, so what does being alive even mean? And
okay, so this is more into the existential sciences.
Some of it is, or usme a large portion of it is devoted to AI. It's a very good book on computer science too. Because usme the best part about the book is it's very rigorous. So it's not talking about airy ideas. It's actually like taking an issue and dismantling it and rigorously thinking. It's a whole philosophical process.
Wow. Okay, wait. But on this thing where you said very intricate details, let's get to the big question that I wanted to ask you, which is math. Last episode, I'd asked my other friend Adit the same question: math versus science. What's the difference? What's your preference? And what are your thoughts?
So, this is one of my favorite questions.
Okay, I'm so happy to be able to ask you that.
Yeah. So, I like to begin by defining something called formal systems.
Okay.
So a formal system is any system in which you start from axioms. I'll introduce a bit of terminology here. Axiom means any truth, a statement which you take as a given. And then you define some relations or rules. And then you use those rules and relations on axioms to create theorems. That is, you interpret things from the axioms using those rules. So, math is the formal system. We start from very small things like those
basic operators.
Yeah, like basic operators, and that leads to the number theory. We start with basic things like all right angles are equal to each other, and two straight lines which are parallel never meet.
Okay.
And that ends up into geometry. So,
wow, right.
Yeah, so math is the formal system, the largest formal system we have ever constructed. So, there's also something called isomorphism. That is, if two formal systems have the same amount of information, they can be translated into each other. So, for example, I have a table and I have bananas. I take a banana, put it on the table, and put another banana on it. So I can also say the table is an operator of addition and the bananas are numbers. So I started with one banana, I put one more, and the table has now two bananas.
Okay, right. So the table has kind of facilitated the operation.
Yeah, so more than facilitated, it's taking the placeholder of addition. So
okay,
addition,
right.
addition represents the binding of two groups. So I had one group, I placed another group. So the table represents the whole
Okay, it's
set.
like a very intuitive way to think of operators.
Yeah, of isomorphism.
Okay,
So
right. Sorry.
that's
Yeah.
basically one set of information. You are like these two systems contain the same amount of information. So I
Yeah.
can say both of these systems are equal.
Hmm.
If reality is a formal system, then science is about discovering the axioms, the truths, and the theorems. And
Okay.
math is the relations and regulations between those theorems and axioms.
Oh wow,
So
that's
yeah,
very
so
beautifully put.
yeah, so like math is an isomorphism of reality if reality is a formal system. And science is used to discover theorems, and then we examine theorems and the axioms, and we say, ki, oh, how can these two things be related to each other?
Okay.
And we use math for that. So
Wow. Right.
yeah, so like it's not math versus science, it's always math and science, I think.
Right. So they don't do the
So
same job. So there's no point in comparing them.
yeah, they're you unless you discover theorems, unless you discover axioms. For
Hmm.
example, you can never discover the basic thing. Like you cannot discover the most fundamental truth of the universe that things you assume using math. So, like in the quantum theory, you had to start with an idea that a
Right.
particle can be both a wave and that thing,
Hmm.
physical entity, and then start with relating those ideas to other previous ideas to come up with new ideas.
Okay. Okay. So and that is where science does its work.
That is where science does its work. So, um,
And what
this
are you
is
more fascinated by?
see. So I previously said that if reality is a formal system,
Hmm.
then math is about the rules and regulations between relating the formal system, like binding the formal system together. If reality is not a formal system, then math is not sufficient. For example, I'll give you an example of a non-formal system, language,
Okay.
ideas. Both of these systems, if you take the set of all ideas, so and the way ideas evolve, any system that evolves is a non-formal system.
Okay.
So
So is biology a non-formal system?
it's under debate.
Okay.
It can be pseudo formal.
Hmm.
तो मतलब it can be pseudo informal. मतलब हमें ऐसा लग सकता है कि it's evolving, but it could be कि they're like really just a bunch of simple rules which regulate the whole process.
Okay. Sorry, I had a tech issue. To continue.
No, no. So as I was saying, language is a non-formal system. You can't
Hmm.
mathematically predict what new phrases of words, like which new combinations of letters would become words next. How language, like how a bunch of different people, how a group of people will form their own slangs and terminologies.
Hmm.
The the evolution of language is unpredictable mathematically. It's just too chaotic. So
Right.
yeah, so there are non-formal systems. Reality has not shown many clues of being a non-formal system, but again, it can be one. So
Okay. So in the case that it is a formal system, in that case, math, you would be more fascinated with math.
I would always be more. I am always more of a science person. But yes,
Okay.
in case it's a formal system, then once you figure out all the relations and regulations in the universe, and you know all the previous theorems, like and you know a good amount of theorems, you can just simply derive mathematically all the theorems on your own. For example,
Hmm.
black holes. We didn't know about them. We mathematically derived the idea of a black hole. So
And it turned out to be
it
accurate.
will not be true. So yes, reality does show a lot of signs of being a formal system. In
Hmm.
that case, math reigns supreme,
Yeah.
or math is the more useful of the two tools, science and math.
Hmm.
But in case it's not, then math is redundant. It's simply another part of the evolving universe. So
Wow. Okay. And right in this thing, where does it fit your love for biology?
my love for biology stems from the fact that I think the solution to all the current problems
Hmm.
of climate change, energy, building material lies in biology. Because life is the only sustainable thing on earth in the universe. Life is the only thing that sustains itself. It's built around sustaining itself. Um, you have a new technology, it grows outdated, you just
Right.
can't use it anymore. It goes out in the junk. So even if you like come up with a great idea for energy today, for green energy today, it can be easily made redundant tomorrow, and you'll have to dispose of the entire setup.
Wow.
Life, if you end up with organisms which produce energy, after which recycle air, if you don't like them, kill them off. They'll decompose. Get a new set of organisms which do the same thing. Basically, like we are all living organisms, and we like all the biosphere is connected to sustain itself by introducing non-animate things into our own sustenance. We are driving climate change and all of that. So, um, yeah, I truly think the solution to most of the
Hmm.
current problems which the modern world face, like, lies in biology. That's
Wow.
why I'm really fascinated by the subject.
That's pretty cool because yeah, what you're saying, this single decision you must have felt so strongly about it that it completely changed the course of your college decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, and is there something in particular? So when you say you want to probably look at problems, that's pretty general. Is there something that you specifically think that you would be really interested to look into?
Like, when I talk about problems, I really mean a general solution. I want
Okay.
to work on developing biological systems that can handle problems rather than focusing on specific
Okay.
problems. So
Teach a man how to fish instead of giving him a fish.
yeah,
Or
exactly.
whatever the quote is. I don't
Yeah,
know the quote exactly.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. And so the general problem of the universe, I think a lot of it can be solved by watching Big Bang Theory.
True, true.
Do you agree? In your scientific opinion, of course. Do you agree?
I love Big Bang. How can I disagree? Ismay, I've covered. It has like 240 episodes in total. I
Huh.
watched 190 of them in like barely a month, 21 days to be exact, 21, 22 days maybe.
So
So
what we haven't really spoken. We were together until you were on season 4,
yeah,
and till then I was telling you that the characters are still really developing,
huh,
and now you're pretty much on the last season.
yeah, yeah.
Just talk about your the journey through it, the characters. Maybe go character by character, or however you want to, storyline by storyline.
Yeah, so Howard really grows as a character for one thing.
He does. He does. He
Usme, he
does.
starts out as a really annoying, creepy person, and like
Hmm.
he transforms into the most grounded,
Wholesome
exactly the
character.
most wholesome character in the whole show. And
100%.
Bernadette starts out like Usme during the fourth and fifth season. She's a very unassuming person. Usme like seems sort of sweet and doesn't talk much.
Hmm.
बाद में like she's bossing everyone around. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's fascinating. Or um, Penny stays constant, and I like that about her. उसमें
Yeah. That's actually true. Yeah.
she like she already has a very decent outlook from the starting.
I
Like
think
she's
one
not
thing I
a
really liked as about her character as it grew on is that
yeah,
they could have taken it the other way and made her from the season 1 Penny into a more cranky, more like irritable character where she's
yeah.
just fighting with Leonard all the time,
They didn't.
more irresponsible. But they took her towards the more like a little bit more mature character.
True.
I think I really enjoyed that part about the story.
Yeah. And what do you think about Amy?
Amy, I think she was also consistent throughout, right? I think more. I'd hate to say this because, of course, she's an important character in herself, but I feel like a lot of her part is just bringing out Sheldon's emotional side,
Yeah.
and maybe me. I honestly couldn't care less about her character. Uh, it's more about the Shamey couple.
True. So that's why I asked you what do you think about Amy because yeah,
You didn't
I
want to say the
think
main things.
huh?
You
Me, I
asked me to
wanted to
talk
know
about.
how do you think about it. So like
Okay,
I
how do
really
you
want
think
to
about it?
I think pretty much the same. So
Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
I think, yeah, like the whole point of Amy in the show was to really um, make Sheldon into a person.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, it's so much of that is just her kind of bringing out emotions in Sheldon.
Yeah,
Now, what about Raj?
Raj was the only character whose arc I wasn't very um, satisfied with.
Okay.
Like, yeah, um, Raj started out as um, Raj started out as the most wholesome character initially.
Hmm.
उसमें um, he was like more well-rounded of in the first 5 6 seasons. उसके बाद like they just made him too weird to be true.
Too weird. Weird
Yeah,
in.
weird as in he's a smart person.
Hmm.
He's an astrophysicist, and then he says like extremely stupid things in front of his dates all the time, always repeating his mistakes. So um, yeah, so like when at like by the end of season 11, my respect for Raj is the same as that of for Stuart, which is
Oh no.
yeah,
Not very high.
not very high. So Raj was one character like who I wanted to be who I wanted to have a better arc.
What would you say could have been better? Would you say that if he was doing a little bit better in his relationships, would that be the change you think would push you over to the Raj fanboy side?
No, what I want him to be doing is for one thing to stay consistent. Sometimes he's extremely sensitive about not being sexist. Other times he's extremely sexist.
But that is his character, isn't it? When he's drunk, he's just a different person.
He's not even drunk most of the time. In the last season, I don't think he's drunk once. So
okay, right. Yeah, I actually do. I kind of do agree with that. It's annoying at times. Like there's, I was just watching the scene where it's something happened and he was very happy for a second, and got very mad for a second, and then got very happy for a second.
And more than that, he doesn't actually add too much to their group.
That is true. Yeah, I think they could have given him a little bit more of a lead role in maybe something. Part of the project they worked, right? The three of them, Leonard, Sheldon, and Howard. Maybe if they added Raj there and removed Leonard, like an important character like Leonard.
Yeah.
That might have balanced out the storyline a little bit more. But regardless, Leonard.
Oh, Leonard's cool. So, he pretty much stays the same throughout the whole thing. And the show is kind of based on Leonard. Matlab, he's the main character with Sheldon, of course.
True. I think one of the parts I love about Leonard, the writing, is how they've really made him he has a very good sense of humor, in the sense he's not at all affected by people roasting him.
Yeah.
I find some of the times he makes self-deprecating jokes. Some of them are hilarious.
Yeah.
Just the way he plays along to the meme. Definitely. And last, and who you can probably relate more to than anyone else. The team genius. Go on.
Sheldon's genius is Sheldon is a genius. I am just slightly smart.
I'm sure even Sheldon. Okay, no, Sheldon, you're a humble Sheldon.
I'm definitely not a humble. You can subtract 50 points from Sheldon's IQ and add them to his empathy. That would be me. So
true. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So, but yes, I do relate to him sometimes. It's my he's not as weird to me as many people. The people around say he makes some very geeky or a very geeky statement. He wants his wedding cake to be in the shape of the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. Yeah. So I would be like, hey, that isn't such a bad idea. I don't know why people are. So
I agree. Although I can't relate to him much, but I 100% agree with those things.
Yeah.
That it doesn't seem like that bad an idea.
I know.
Just now, one of the episodes, he was talking about how he wishes Leonard good night through Morse code.
Yeah.
Through that watch. I thought that was actually such a cool thing.
I know.
I don't think it brought across the geek part that it was supposed to.
And even its card games. I mean, I usually sit staring out the window. If I had all those card games, I could have been having a good time.
Oh. Definitely. Okay, so, now let's go on. Conclude.
My conclusion was every person does have a bit of Sheldon in them. If they are just willing to accept that.
True. I think a lot, when you say everyone has a Sheldon in them, I think that also might not necessarily have to do with the smartness. A lot of it might just have to do with the fact that he is so, he doesn't care for other people defining his interests.
Yeah. And
when he wants a Millennium Falcon, he gets a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying?
Nothing, I concluded.
Okay, yeah. So you have one season left, right?
10 episodes to be exact.
Yeah, we'll make a mini clip on the because the ending, quite a lot happens in the ending. I don't want to spoil it anymore. So we'll have a 30-second shot just to wrap it up, so that when we watch it later, maybe a year or two later, we get the entire run through of Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
One more thing I want to talk about Big Bang Theory. So many people don't find it funny, but I find it hilarious.
I don't really know how could a person not find that funny. I mean,
I can name so many jokes off the top of my head. You know, the one where Penny reads Leonard's diary, and the only thing written there is, OMG, I cannot wait for the Star Wars. It's so near Ga. I was rolling around laughing for 5 minutes. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't really know how, I don't know how people could not think Big Bang Theory is funny.
Have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I have.
Okay, so those Big Bang Theory and Brooklyn Nine-Nine are opposite ends of the spectrum, right? One is absolutely silly humor. Like the humor is being stupid. Personally, I don't find Brooklyn Nine-Nine funny at all. I just kind of find it silly.
Okay.
And other end is Big Bang Theory, where their jokes are just, oh wow, you made a geeky joke, and I find that hilarious. So I think there's a spectrum. So I think I just answered my own question. So you lived in Delhi alone for a year, right? During your JEE prep.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good in a number of aspects. It was also, for example, living in Delhi certainly brought out a lot of like at home. I rarely step out of the house. Abhi bhi and pehle bhi. Like even in the lockdown, I got out of the house like once in a month, twice in a month. And like before going to Delhi, tabhi it was the same for me. So but in Delhi, I was out of the on the day of classes. I was gone for most of the day, and I had classes like most of the days in the week. So of all the hours in the week, 95% I was roaming Delhi or some part of it in BMC.
Oh really? So, I didn't know this.
Yeah. So yeah, Delhi was a nice time for some reasons, like having independence and not having to stick to a schedule which others have made. So I have to be very particular about like what the meal time is and what time do I get up maybe or all of those things. However, I could just do my own thing the whole day. Nobody around to correct me or
tell you what to do. You could do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I don't like being told what to do. So so it was amazing in that respect. I got my love for protein bars in that place.
In Delhi, okay, right. Because during your classes, you used to just grab a quick bite.
That was my class meal. So
do you have a favorite protein bar brand? Like your go-to?
Yeah. Yoga Bar, I think.
Yoga Bar is a brand?
It's a brand.
Okay, fine. So, if Yoga Bar or someone, if they want to sponsor the video, we can always tell them that it's Dhruv approved.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So the last thing I wanted to... No, wait, before that, you said pros and cons. You spoke about the pros. What about the cons?
There were many cons. For all the roaming I did, I was as alone in Delhi as I was at home. At least at home, I'd mom and dad and everybody, my family. Delhi mein, except for Mridul Dadi, I basically had nobody to talk to. During class, I was like mostly focused on completing my work. 1 hour ka beech mein break. And that time I used to talk to one or two people. Otherwise, it was just being alone for most of the time. And by the end of the year, that thing had really started to get to me. So, so when I came back home, I was extremely relieved for at least 7-8 months. Like it was at least the end of the year after I came from Delhi, after which I started missing Delhi. That thinking about that in a good light. Because I was just I was so extremely lonely.
Yeah, I think especially if you've gone just to a new city to study by yourself, it must, and especially when you can't focus too much on the other things because you don't want it to take away from what you've come there to do.
Exactly. So I had my mobile phone, laptop and TV at the place. But just like knowing I couldn't use any of them was the sad part. I wanted to I had some routine, I wanted to get some things. And I knew if I spend my time say making friends and watching TV, I wasn't going to get those things which I'd come for.
I'm so happy to say that you did finally get the things you wanted. At the end, you found Big Bang Theory and you found IISc.
Yeah.
Imagine at that time you've taken Big Bang Theory and
True.
not got IISc, but now you have best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And you have a sad story to look back on, which will make you strong.
I know. So if
there's that soldier aspect to it, right?
I usually have nothing to complain about. I'm meeting with some classmates of mine abhi kuch time se. So they all have their sad stories. In the lockdown we couldn't go out. Otherwise we used to have so much fun and all that. So at least now I'll tell you what.
now you know the social convention on how to complain.
Yeah, I know that. So so that's one thing that came out of it.
That's awesome. Okay, and last thing
Yeah,
about Bangalore, the city of both of our hearts, the
yeah.
city you're going to come and study in. The 1 week you were in Bangalore, what are some things that you saw that now when you come back, you're looking forward to the next 4 years enjoying?
So I think you already know the obvious one, the weather.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like 9:30. Habibi, the AC is on full blast. It's hot enough in here. So
Wow.
yeah, and when it gets cold, it's like
Freezing.
biting your toes off.
Hmm.
So definitely, the Bangalore weather was awesome. The week I lived in, or um, I really look forward to the vibe of Bangalore. यहाँ पर it's
Okay.
like not like this place and Bangalore have very different vibes. Even Delhi and Bangalore have extremely different vibes. Delhi
Okay.
is like if I had to imagine a background music for Delhi, it would
Yeah.
be something very intense, fast, and sort of
Like a
dangerous.
rap, like a rap with
Yeah,
heavy
like an
metal,
Eminem rap.
heavy metal rap.
Heavy metal, sometimes inappropriate, and sometimes some like you might enjoy it, but you might also want to be cautious of it. So
Okay.
yeah,
Hmm.
Bangalore is jazz. So
Ah, what
yeah,
a nice genre to choose.
so I came there. So it was like pianos in the background, soft, like awesome music, lively music playing. So yeah,
So that's what you look forward to, just uh, basking
the
in the vibe.
yeah, basking in the vibe.
That's
And
awesome.
I look forward to the people I'm going to meet and the place I'm going to study. So yeah,
Right, yeah, of course. Those are going to be probably your best friends for the next few years.
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Okay.